Hey everyone, this is David Brown, and you may know that LycoBirds is run by me and my brother Bobby, but actually my whole family is into birding, and the October eBirder of the month is my dad, Bob Brown, and you see him here in the photo along with my mom, Deb. And so if we just take a look at this article, please join us in congratulating Bob Brown of Lycoming County, Pennsylvania, US, winner of the October 2022 eBird Challenge, sponsored by Carl Zeiss Sports Optics. Bob's name was drawn randomly from the 4,560 eBirders who submitted at least 5 eligible checklists on October Big Day. Bob will receive a new Zeiss SFL 8x40 binocular for his birding efforts. Here's Bob's birding story. Okay, I have a couple comments so far. So first of all, I was eBirder of the month back in, I think it was maybe 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. And the way that I won it was whatever the challenge was, I didn't really do that on the checklist, but I was birding with my brother Bobby, and he did that on the checklist and shared them with me. And so that made me eligible, and I ended up winning. And I guarantee that's the same thing that happened here, that my brother Bobby went out birding with my parents and shared the checklist with them to complete the challenge, and my dad ended up winning. So it's kind of funny that it's happened twice now, that Bobby's done all the work, but he's never got the rewards. And I also want to say, when I won, my prize was the Zeiss Conquest 8x42 binoculars, which at the time were in the $900 price range. But now the prize is the SFL, which I think is a much more expensive binocular. Okay, let's check out my dad's story. My name is Bob Brown, and I live in Lycoming County in north central PA. For me, birding is a family hobby that involves my wife Deb and sons Bobby and David. Our family was introduced to birding by David, who started birding first. David is currently employed as the fall hawk counter at Ashland Nature Center in Hockessin, Delaware. He has also worked as the spring counter at the Hawkwatch in Montclair, New Jersey, and as the spring counter at Braddock Bay, New York. Both Bobby and David volunteer as eBird reviewers. We are all active members of Lycoming Audubon Society and regularly lead and participate in field trips. So a lot of nice name dropping there. So big shout out to everyone at Ashland, Montclair, Braddock Bay, and from the Lycoming Audubon Society. Continuing on, although the majority of my birding takes place in Lycoming County, I have had the opportunity to bird in other areas as well. In 2014, I traveled with David to California, and we spent a week birding. I was very new to birding, and David helped me learn to identify the birds we saw. Although I should say that at that point, I had only been birding for like a year, and I had no clue what I was doing either. We were just, we went to a spot, there had just been a birding festival, so we went to all the same places that they had had field trips, and I just photographed everything and spent the evening trying to figure out what we had seen. In 2016, I rode my motorcycle to Maine with a non-birding friend in order to see Atlantic puffins. I've also taken a number of trips to the New Jersey coast for birding, including several pelagic trips. And that's the one thing I will say about my dad, that even though he's not as hardcore of a birder as the rest of us, he loves to travel, he loves lighthouses and boats. So anytime, it's like a pelagic trip or somewhere along the coast, he's down for a trip, and he's a really good driver when the rest of us are birding. That's a really important rule, is to have a good driver for when you're driving around birding. As usual, for most of our birding outings, Bobby did the planning for October 2022 Big Day, and we left before it got light and headed to one of our favorite spots, Rose Valley Lake, a great location to bird with its varied habitats. We continued through our favorite hotspots in Lycoming County and recorded 69 species and 10 submitted checklists throughout the day. I feel that eBird has strengthened the hobby of birding. It allows everyone to keep track of their lists, life, year, county, etc., and is a great research tool when looking for new places to bird. Bobby compiles our checklists and documents our birds as he uses his photographs to create educational materials on LycoBirds.com, a website he and David made to promote birding in our local area. And of course, not just our local area. Most of the content I make now is from other areas, depending on where I'm hawkwatching. New York, Delaware, different birding trips to hawkwatches throughout Pennsylvania. So LycoBirds started out with a local focus, but I feel like we've really expanded beyond that. Bobby's wife, Rebecca, and their young daughter, Evie, have begun to join us on birding outings, and I look forward to birding more with them. Evie is beginning to explore the world around her, and I am sure that birding will be a part of her life. She already excitedly looks to the sky when she hears a flock of Canada geese coming. And yeah, Evie is just about 1.5 years old. So, she's at the stage, she's running around a little bit. She's running around a lot, and she's starting to talk a little bit as well. So we'll be excited to introduce her to birds and birding sometime in the future. So congratulations to my dad for being eBirder of the month. And I encourage all of you to complete the monthly eBird challenges, and maybe you too will be eBirder of the month sometime. From LycoBirds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.